You finally sit down after a long day, but instead of feeling peace, you feel pressure to get up and start moving. We all do it. I'm building this whole new thing with the, production side and coaching and everything, and I'm running around like a chicken with my head cut off. If I take a break, I feel like, man, I could be doing this to get myself ahead for this. You gotta really take a break. You feel the pressure
You're
to
way
do
more
more.
productive if you take that break. I mean, really,
Oh,
we need those breaks. And I
absolutely.
remember back when I worked in nursing and I quit smoking, and that was like my only go and get a break. I realized I was never taking a break. I was eating at my desk. I was doing everything at my desk. Even when I'm on vacation and stuff like that, I know that people don't realize it. It's also work for me. So just because I'm on vacation doesn't mean that I'm not in a work mode and thinking about what I need to collect, what I'm going to make with it, what I need. So there are times that I'll send myself to the beach and I will have zero goals. It doesn't matter what I find, but I have to mentally tell myself that, hey, it's just about breathing and enjoying the atmosphere. It's not about what can I find for X, Y, and Z. So, I mean, even myself, I'm away on vacation, which everybody thinks, I'm just sitting in a lawn chair somewhere. It is not quite like that. I do
But
take lawn chair moments, but
you need that lawn chair moment, though. Just
yeah,
like you just
absolutely.
said, yeah, okay, maybe in the back of your head you're thinking, well, if I find something cool, but you need to go there with the intention of, well, if I find something cool, I'll pick it up. But don't go
Right.
there trying to look all the time, because you're never going to get that break. Like you said,
Right.
it's always going to be work. Welcome to another week of the Health, Tech, and Wellness Podcast. I'm John Adams.
And I'm Crystal Nevadale.
And let me ask you guys something. When was the last time that you actually relaxed? And I mean relaxed without feeling guilty about it. Seriously, not sitting there thinking about work, not stressing over what you should be doing, not mentally building tomorrow's to-do list like we all love to do. I mean, actually just letting yourself breathe. Because somewhere along the way, people started to believe that you had to earn that rest, that you had to put in 120% before you could sit down. And there's nothing wrong with that, okay? Slowing down is not lazy, but people believe that slowing down is lazy, that if you're not constantly pushing, that you're failing. And honestly, I think that mindset right there is what's completely destroying people mentally in their work, in their family, in their relationship. Because some people today, they don't even know how to relax anymore. And in this episode, Crystal, I want to talk about giving yourself grace, not excuses, not quitting, not lowering your standards, but grace, the kind that lets you live life and enjoy times with your family, or enjoy time away, or just that vacation that you need to go on, that kind that lets you just live life without constantly being at war with yourself. And Crystal, I think one of the saddest things today is how many people feel guilty the second that they slow down. You finally sit down after a long day, but instead of feeling peace, you feel pressure to get up and start moving. We all do it. I'm building this whole new thing with the, production side and coaching and everything, and I'm running around like a chicken with my head cut off. If I take a break, I feel like, man, I could be doing this to get myself ahead for this. You got to really take a break. You feel the pressure
You're
to
way
do
more
more.
productive if you take that break. I mean, really,
Oh,
we need those breaks. And I
absolutely.
remember back when I worked in nursing and I quit smoking, and that was like my only go and get a break. Well, then I tried to find another way. I would just remove myself from the situation, because for months and months and months, I realized I was never taking a break. I was eating at my desk. I was doing everything at my desk. So really taking time away is it's learned. You have to give yourself that grace to allow yourself to walk away. Even when I'm on vacation and stuff like that, I know that people don't realize it. It's also work for me.
Yeah.
So just because I'm on vacation doesn't mean that I'm not in a work mode and thinking about what I need to collect, what I'm going to make with it, what I need. So there are times that I'll send myself to the beach and I will have zero goals. It doesn't matter what I find, but I have to mentally tell myself that, hey, it's just about breathing and enjoying the atmosphere. It's not about what can I find for X, Y, and Z. So, I mean, even myself, I'm away on vacation, which everybody thinks, I'm just like sitting in a lawn chair somewhere. It is not quite like that. I do
But
take lawn chair moments, but
you need that lawn chair moment though. Just
yes,
like you just said,
absolutely.
yeah, okay, maybe in the back of your head you're thinking, well, if I find something cool, but you need to go there with the intention of, well, if I find something cool, I'll pick it up. But don't go
Right,
there trying to look all the time because you're never going to get that break. Like you said, it's
right,
always going to be work.
right. And so when I was away, a few mornings, I got up before anybody else was up in the house, and I headed out to the beach. And even that 20-minute walk on the way there of nothing was so peaceful and relaxing, and it helped me manage myself for the rest of the day. I mean, when you're in the same proximity with someone or many someone's for a week, I was with 5 women, for 1 week and 6 women for another week. So, I mean, it is a lot to kind of pull yourself away from there. Give yourself some grace, give yourself some quiet time, and just kind of enjoy the moment.
Yeah. Well, let me throw this at you, Crystal. Let's kind of do that like I love to do the devil's advocate thing. And let's take social media into it a little bit. So we post a lot, right? And I've kind of taken a small break because I'm building some things and I'm trying to get a few things in line. And so you're posting, your stuff that you're doing, you're finding these stones, you're building things, you're out on vacation, and they're seeing, man, Crystal's flourishing. And then I'm posting stuff about our podcast or about, my production thing. I did, I had a couple people say, hey, put the full video up with Peter. So I put that up. So, we unintentionally, we do what I'm about to talk about, but we don't mean it in any way. But think about this. How much do you think that social media kind of feeds into that not being able to rest thing, right? Because every time you open your phone, there's somebody building something and they're grinding and they're succeeding and they're waking up at 4 a.m., right, to go down to the beach while everybody else is sleeping. Or, they're optimizing their life. And then eventually you start to feel like resting means you're losing. But here's the truth. You don't have to compare yourself to everybody else. Yes, it's nice to look and go, man, how do I get there? But if you don't get that, rest yourself. So my question to you, Crystal, and we're guilty of it, but we're trying to help people by doing what we're doing. But how much do you think that feeds into that feeling for other people that, man, look what this person's doing, or look what this person's doing. And we both try to, if we're comparing at all, in a positive way to improve ourselves, not in a negative way. But how much do you think that negatively impacts other people where they're, feeds into that not wanting to rest?
I mean, I'm sure it does, but it's all again about your mindset. Like
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't matter what anybody's doing, and and just like we talked about before, like you can turn that situation into motivation and inspiration in your time where it is go time. Not
Yes.
during your time that you're supposed to relax and recoup. And really, I have to be honest with you, like lately, I have not even had my phone barely at all. Like I post at night sometimes.
Yeah.
I had an amazing weekend. I didn't put one thing up. Like so many
Yes.
cool things happened, and
Yeah.
I'm just trying to be really more present in my life. Like I will eventually post the things that have happened over the last week, but I've really been trying to put my phone down, and trying to be more present. I'm really trying to build some new habits in my life right now. Like I'm trying to focus a little bit more on my eating. I've never been a real healthy eater. So I'm trying to like do small things. I've been starting like a whole new regimen with shakes. Like I'm just trying to be very present with what I'm doing. And social media, and I even have been writing like intentions in the morning. And one of my intentions is stop scrolling.
Yeah.
So if I have like 3 things that I need to look up, I look up those 3 things and then I leave it alone. So I'm really dedicated to my own journey right now to trying to get rid of some of the noise.
Yeah. No, 100%. That's kind of been something that I'm trying to concentrate on because so I already struggle with, putting things up because I don't want to ever feel like, look at me, but I think that they help people, right? And that's why we're doing the podcast is we're trying to help people and let people see where we've come from and where we're headed. So what I've done is I don't want to be that person who's at a concert or at a ball game that spent all that money and they're spending the entire event posting what they're doing and they're not paying attention to the event. I want to take the pictures. I want to capture the experience, but then put my phone away, save them for
Yes.
later. Or if I have
Yeah.
an idea, hey, oh, you know what? This just happened. This will make a good post to put up. I'll throw a note in with Siri or whatever and move on, right? And then now what I'm trying to do is save those for later. Now it's evening. I'm slowed down a little bit. Create them, schedule them, and let them go out. I'm trying to be more, like you said, in the moment, more, you know,
Yeah.
in tune with everything around me. It's been really tough, with Cindy, especially with her mom, and she's there all night, and I'm trying to make sure that I'm getting the time with her, and building all of this and her going through all this stuff with her mother. It's been tough, and I want to make sure that we get our quality time, but I'm still investing the time into this and doing everything to push this forward too. So yeah, making sure that I'm very mindful in those situations has been tough. And that's something that I'm working on also.
And I know that you like get up super early and stuff for your job and all that. Um, I've noticed too, like with myself, like this is starting my busy season. So like my relationship hasn't experienced busy yet with my job. So trying to manage everything picking up, all these things needed to be done, and then still manage my personal life, my private life, my kids, my grandkids. It's a lot of juggling. And you're going to see that with me for like the next 4 months. It's going to be a lot of juggling. But
Yeah.
if I don't get this like under wraps now with putting my phone down, paying attention, I'm going to get lost in these 4 months. So I figure like if I start now to kind of clear things out, get in order what I need to be doing, then I'll be better off when it does get insanely busy and I don't have a breath to take. But and then back in the
No,
past, I used to get up super early. Like when stuff like this would happen, I would just get up 3, 4 hours early. But gosh, then by the time it's 5 o'clock, you're sleeping in your chair.
that's the biggest problem. I'm up at 2 a.m. It's so
Yeah,
hard,
there's
come
no way
six
to get up
o'clock.
earlier.
Yeah, I'm going at 6 o'clock. I'm looking at, getting ready for bed mode, and it's tough, especially with, our schedules have been off. Her mother is she's having sundowners because it's getting close to the end of time, for her, and night times are rough, and she's worried that's when she's going to go, and that's when Cindy's trying to be there the most because she's worrying, and so our schedules are completely screwed up together. So yeah, it definitely having those moments when we can, be with each other. And we just celebrated 25 years. So if we can make it those 25 years, this
Congratulations.
next one. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it's been fun. But yeah, so what we're talking about in this episode is not stopping, right? We're not talking about, putting things aside. We're talking about giving your best, but we're also talking about taking those breaks for yourself, for your relationship, for your family. So Crystal, what are your thoughts on how, like, just even on the social media side too, maybe not just us, but just in general, right? We see all the grind out there. And we kind of touched on this a little bit, but do you think that even yourself, like seeing, and I know we don't compare that way, but do you see that, all these people are out there, they're just go, 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 go. And now you're getting into the busy season. You're about to be locked into your store for a while. You're going to be doing a lot of stuff like that. So do you see that affecting you personally or anybody around you?
No, I won't even have time for social media in the summer. Like
That's
you'll
good.
notice my posting will go to the side. Like I'll hardly have
Yeah.
time to do any of that. Like a lot of times I post to for my business during the slow season because I need to have sales to get revenue to live. But in the summer, it's so busy that I don't have time to even think about that end. So like I almost go dormant for four
Yeah.
months in my social media.
Yeah.
Really. So I don't think it really affects me very much. I don't have the time to even look at it to be comparing myself to anybody or anything. So I guess that's a benefit for me.
No, yeah, for sure. But now let's look at it though. So you're going to be really busy. So now you're going to have a lot going on. You're in that busy time. You've got a new relationship. You got a lot going on. So this is where you've got to really be careful because you're going to get those few moments where you might get that little bit of rest or that time, you and Emily, but then, and everybody gets it. And maybe you haven't, but just be cautious, especially, you're in that new phase. Um, you get that rest finally, but then you feel guilty that you got that rest because you're in the busy season, right? Vermilion is going to be hopping. The downtown area is going to be, booming, and you're going to be, trying. This is when you're going to make the money to get you through the winter time, right?
Right.
So that's the biggest thing is you make sure when you're getting that rest and you're getting that recovery that you're actually being mindful, because you're not quitting. It's intentional. You're
Right.
going for calming and grounded experiences with you and Emily and your grandchildren and stuff like that. So that's where I think that all of us need to learn from, and me included, is just a lot of the recovery time that we need, we don't take because we feel guilty when we take it. So here's some things that you've mentioned, that I've mentioned, that I think we all need to just take that break. Whether it's you're grinding on your health and you're feeling amazing, or you're building a company, or you're just whatever it happens to be. It's summertime. I know it's going to be your busy season, but when we all get the time, sit outside, whether it's at the water, whether it's just outside with your kids or your grandchildren or your significant other. Taking that drive still. I know you've taken your vacations, but we just take that little drive, even if it's just up the road, whatever, listening
Right.
to music, laughing with somebody, being present. Heck, for 30 minutes, do absolutely nothing. Or, like you
Right.
say,
A
get that
nap.
little bit of scrolling, but set your alarm, right? Tell Alexa, set the alarm.
Yeah.
Make sure you get those times, because we need that. As much as sometimes we can do it way too much, we still need those times to let ourselves breathe and be us.
I think that making a schedule is the way to be successful at it.
Yeah.
You need to,
Yeah.
say that because I'll tell you my schedule. I work from 11 to 4. So from 4 to 5 o'clock, I'm unreachable. It is my time to get home. It's my time to get in maybe more comfortable clothes. Maybe it's my time to start dinner, but it is my time for no interruption, no phone calls, no nothing.
Yeah.
I no television usually. I usually put my music on and I spend that first hour just preparing the rest of it. But having a schedule is, to me, very helpful. I tend to stick to things that are healthier when I have a schedule.
Yeah. 100%. And I'm the same way. And that's kind of one of the biggest things that we need to, hold on, I'm trying to pull up this post that I put up the other day. But that's one thing that we need to really, as people concentrate on, is when you can have that schedule, when you can build those habits, when you can have those little things that keep you moving forward, that's what's going to keep you grounded, right? We all kind of do this. Most people, myself included, for many, many years, we forget that life is supposed to feel good, right?
Right.
Yes, it's supposed to be a grind. Yes, we're supposed to do our best. We're supposed to give 110%, but it's supposed to feel good. If your entire life feels miserable while improving yourself, especially in the improvement phase, eventually you're going to stop improving and you're just going to, give it up. So here's something that I put out the other day. Speaking of posting on Facebook, what will next year look like? What about next month, next week, or tomorrow? The truth is, none of us actually know. Life can change in a phone call, a diagnosis, or an accident, a loss or a blessing you never saw coming. People fall in love, families grow, babies are born, and friends get married. At the same time, people get sick, people change, people leave, and people fight battles they never expected to face. This last year has been a reminder to me of one or more of those things across the board. Don't waste today. Not your time, not your words, not your moments, and not your people, because tomorrow is not promised.
True.
And I think that's the biggest thing. We need to grind. We need to, in the same token, we don't want to waste today when we're trying to improve ourselves, but we also don't want to miss those moments. We only get so
Right.
many of them, and tomorrow's not guaranteed.
And that's important to remember.
Yeah. So I think self-improvement accidentally becomes exhausting for a lot of people, because now it feels like every habit, every meal, every workout, every minute has to be optimized. We're talking about building a schedule. That doesn't mean it has to be you missed something and you messed up and now you got to freak out about it. Build a
Oh,
schedule, start slow and work into it, right? Because once it
right.
becomes habits, it won't be so miserable when you miss up.
Yeah. And it shouldn't be miserable. Like I have a great schedule. But I block out
Yeah.
time for free time. Like think about it.
Yeah.
How many people scroll for 3 or 4 hours a night, watch a movie that means nothing to them, um, when they could be taking
And
a
then say
walk
they
with
got
their
no time for
family.
anything.
Yeah, exactly. They could be taking a walk with their family. They could be reading a good book. They
Yeah.
could spend some time
Yeah.
doing self-care on themselves. So it's really about your priorities. You just have to set them
Yeah.
straight, like what you want. And with me, I say what I want a lot, and I don't follow through because I'm so busy. So when I write things down, they happen because I go back to them and I go, oh gosh, I missed that. I got 30 minutes. Let me go ahead and try to get that done. But it
Yeah.
really does help me. Like writing things down helps me so much. Be accountable.
Yeah. Yeah. I have to. I mean, between, putting things, in a schedule or my journal, writing down has really been, it's been the biggest thing to save me. I have to put things out of my mind into my journal. I have to make notes all day. I use my notes app on my phone all day long. I've even I've even optimized it to the point where every day at 10 a.m. it says go in and clean out your notes app because I had so much going in there that I wasn't going back to check. Seriously, because I
Yeah.
drive, my brain doesn't stop. I'm
Right.
OCD and ADHD all at the same time, and those two are bad together. And I'll be driving and I'll be thinking of something, and I can't mess with my phone, so I don't want to say the word out loud, but hey, the Apple Assistant, make this note for me. And it was getting, to the point where I'm like, okay, well, I don't even know what I got in here now. So I have every day at 10 a.m. It pops up, check your notes app. And then I've got files for that. Does it matter? Was it a thought that I'm like, you know what? That really didn't make any sense anyway. Get rid of it. Or is it something I should act on right now? Right? Can I go in and do something with this? And it's really kind of optimized that for me. Setting those schedules, it's huge. And getting the things written down out of your head, it's helped me sleep at night better. How many times are you laying in bed at night and something pops into your head and now you're thinking about it and now you're planning about it or you're worried about it or you're stressing about it and you can't go to sleep?
Right. I
You
pop
write it
out of
down and get
bed
it out of your
all the
head.
time. Sometimes I just pop out of bed and do that darn thing so that I don't have to lay there and think about it no more. I do. I'm not going to
Well,
lie.
that's
That
why
is totally me.
yeah. Yeah. That's why I like using look, I'm kind of a geek, but that's why I like the assistants. That's, the Alexas of the series. I don't like saying the words out loud, set everybody's off, including our own. But you can say, hey, take this note for me and just get it out. Okay. I took your note. And once I hear that they took it, I don't think about it. Now, next day at 10 a.m., it'll pop up and say, John, check your notes. Um, because that did, like, I can't tell you, I already have a hard enough time sleeping. That's where meditation comes in, and that's where I got to clear my mind. And then when one of those stupid things pop into my head, I'm up all night. It won't shut off. So that's kind of why living 95 is so important to me, because it's not about perfection. It's about sustainability. How can you make life sustainable? How can you make those systems, those habits, set those alarms, the 30-minute alarm for you while you're on social media, the 10 a.m., check your notes app, those things that just make life work, make it stupid simple and remove those hurdles from actually growing. And that's kind of why I built this whole thing. Because here, your plan makes things easier. And if your plan makes you hate life more, your plan probably isn't the right plan, right?
Time to
So you tweak
reevaluate.
it. It's time to reevaluate all day long. So if you're not going to stick with it, reevaluate, do it again. Sometimes people need a little more pressure to get them to reevaluate it. And that's, what used to be me too, but that's okay. At the end of the day, you don't need permission to breathe. You need to give yourself permission to breathe, but you don't need life to give you permission to breathe. You need to take those times for yourself. You don't need to punish yourself to improve your life. So, Crystal, where do you kind of think people cross the line between healthy growth, which is what we're trying to help people with, and constantly kind of pressuring themselves and burning themselves out? Where do you think that line is where people usually cross it?
That's a tough one, John. I don't have an answer for that. I think every individual has a different line,
Yeah,
but I don't think it should be uncomfortable. I don't think growth should be
right.
uncomfortable to the point where we should be excited about learning new ways to make our life more manageable. Nobody has it all figured out. Not one person in this world has it all figured out. We're all trying to find new systems all the time to keep improving our life. What I do know, if you're not doing that, you're stagnant and you're not growing. And if you're not growing, you're dying. So
Yep.
we need to keep going forward and growing. I mean, I reevaluate my life 5 times a day. If something doesn't feel good, I don't do it anymore. If it feels great, I do more of it. Like, it's a constant growth. It's what life's about, though. It should be exciting. If it's uncomfortable to you, you're going to have to meditate.
Yeah. Here, I'm going to go to the Wayback Machine a couple months back when you called me out on the workout thing, right? And you said, "Well, do you have goals?" And I said, "Well, yeah, I have goals." "Well, do you have them written down? And do you actually? I know you have goals, but do you write them down? Do you try to compete with yesterday?" That was a game changer, right? So yes, it should be a little uncomfortable. Growth is uncomfortable in general, but finding those things, the setting a goal and competing against yesterday, write down how you did today, and can I just get a little bit better tomorrow? You make it fun. You find those systems, right? And that's what we talk about regularly. It's systems. Systems are going to what make it so you can keep going.
Right.
It allows you to enjoy your life without guilt, right? You're allowed to laugh. You're allowed to rest. You're allowed to take breaks and enjoy food occasionally in those systems. You prepare for it. You know it's coming up. You were, had your, nice breakfast in the morning and your water or whatever to get yourself, ready. Those systems are going to keep you going without feeling like you're failing. Here, I think the biggest thing that I would like people to take away is sometimes healing starts the moment that you stop treating yourself like the problem constantly needs fixing. Yes, we need to fix ourselves, but you don't have to dwell on it all day long.
I have a
Build
good
the
one.
systems. Go ahead.
I have a good, real quick.
Yeah.
Strong kept me alive, but gentle made me heal. So that is powerful, and that's in a song that recently I've been listening to, and that's a true thing. Strong will keep us alive, but we have to learn to be gentle with ourselves, because gentle with ourselves is where healing happens, and we all need healing. Sorry,
and
it
here's
just
the
popped
thing.
into my mind.
No, I 100%, and that was perfect. That was well said. But here's the thing, and I can already hear somebody, either when this launches that day or 10 years from now, because these will be out forever. I can already hear somebody. But you guys are making people weak. You're saying, listen, grace isn't weakness.
No.
Sometimes grace is, the very thing that kind of keeps you going, right? It's the thing that gets you over that hurdle where you're stuck. Because
grace is where you stop competing with other people and you start taking care of yourself. It's not about a competition. Doesn't matter what Joe Schmo has to say. Like, it's about yourself and being gentle with yourself and making you feel happy. Because at the end of the day, if you're pushing yourself to please everybody else, you're never going to be truly happy. No. Ever. We need to stop looking outside of ourselves and start realizing that everything that we need is already here.
That's it. We talked about it a couple episodes ago. Stop comparing yourself to everybody else, because truthfully, most people don't even know you exist, right? Compare yourself with yourself. What's going to make you 1% better tomorrow? That's it.
That's it.
If you strive to be 1% better than you were yesterday, tomorrow, that's all. It's not always going to be happen. Some days you're going to, fall backwards. It's going to happen. That's
Right.
life. But if we can just be 1% better every single day,
If we can make one better choice than yesterday,
that's it.
it's that
Yeah.
simple. One choice
Yeah.
different, that's better.
Yeah. And that choice doesn't have to be physical. It could be mental. It could be,
Anything.
yesterday I was a grumpy, sour SOB, right? What can I do today to be better? What can I do to be better to my spouse, to my, to Cindy, or you to be better with Emily, whatever, what can we do to be that better person every single day? And I struggle with that. I do all the time. I'm not going to lie. I get frustrated over stupid stuff, and I got to just give me a second. Let me breathe,
Yeah.
and that's one of my things that I work on daily. So this week, everybody, I kind of want to leave you with this. I want you to give yourself intentional grace, one moment of peace without the guilt. Maybe sit outside, take a quick drive, put your phone down, sit and watch a sunset, listen to some music, spend some time with somebody that you care with, not on your phones, not even watching a movie, just sitting with each other. And then when that voice shows up that says, you should be doing something else, this is wasting time, you're not improving yourself, I want you to do this. Quietly to yourself, tell it to F off. Give yourself that minute and rest.
Right.
Because your mental health matters. It matters more than you'll ever think. And if you get one of those moments, I would love, look, best thing in the world, you shared with me. One of our listeners, probably somebody because they sent it to you. One of our episodes, we were talking about where did you fall on the A through D scale? And the person filled it out and sent it to you. That meant the world. So what I would love, if you're listening to this episode, you have one of those moments this week where you're trying to get that intentional rest moment, grace moment, and that little voice in your head pops up and you give it that screw off moment, throw it in the comments. Just say, yeah, that happened this week and I told it to F off. I don't care. You know what I mean? Throw it in the comments, because at the end of the day, we all need those moments, because burning yourself out is not going to improve your life. We're only going to begin to grow and improve our life when we can realize that we can give 110% when we can, but we can give ourselves grace when it doesn't. Anything else for you, Crystal, before we wrap this up?
That's it. Keep shining, folks.
Awesome. Well, people, I think that we all need that space and we all need to slow down again. So when you're looking for that calming place or that thing that you just need, maybe if you're out by Vermilion, Crystal's Treasure Box is one of those places. It feels different the second that you walk in the door. In a world of constantly demanding your attention, everything, your buzzing, your phones, sometimes finding peaceful spaces matters more than people realize. So stop into Crystal's Treasure Box, check it out. It's going to be her busy season. Go on in there and help her, celebrate the fact that she's going to be there a lot more than she's been in a while. So check out everything she's got in there. She's got a lot of great items. And on the Amplify side, guys, this applies to creators too, because burnout isn't always caused by working hard. Sometimes it's caused by feeling like you never shut your brain off. That's why Amplify exists. I focus on creating systems that feel sustainable, because content creation shouldn't feel like a constant mental war. You should be able to create and still have life. Maybe healing isn't about a complete different personality, right? Maybe it's finally learning to stop and just stop being at war with yourself over things. I have a client that I'm taking on right now. He actually is a doctor in the mental health world. He works with children. He works with children that are abused, children that are having behavioral issues. He found one thing. Guess what? The people that work in that mental health field, they have just as many mental health issues as the people that they're working with, because they're taking all of that home with them. So we're going to build a system for him to get out here and share that message. It doesn't stop with us. It goes all the way up. At the end of the day, guys, take those moments for yourself. find those moments of grace. Just give yourself grace, because balance isn't weakness, it's survival. And as always, stay healthy, stay balanced.
And keep driving forward.
We'll see you next time.